Welcome everybody to N90X. I am your host, Joe, and today I want to talk to you about our new N90X encryptor. If you go to N90X.info, slide to the bottom of the home page and click on encryptor, it'll take you to a second page which has our two versions. Our latest version is version 2. There are 4 flavors: Mac OS M1, Mac OS, Intel, Windows, and Linux versions are available, all in a single download. The download is 37.8 megabytes. You get all of those versions. And what you'll do is when you download it, either you could shell to where the file is, or you could copy the executable to wherever you want to run it. And then when you run it, version 2, you'll see a menu like this. Let's look at version 2 real quick, okay? So I have version 2. Hang on a second. Wait, my downloads, right? Yeah, here we are. So let's do CD here. All right, let's take a look and do a practice run. Let's see if we can make this bigger. Nice and big. So when you get your download and you extract it, you'll see that there's 4 different flavors: Linux, Windows, Mac OS, M1, and Mac OS Intel. I'm on an M1 Mac, so while at this moment the Intel version will run using Rosetta on the M1, the native compiled M1 is available. So let's go there. Let's CD into Mac M1, and you'll see that there's this executable called ENCRYPTION version 2. So let me, before we do anything, you know what? There's no big deal. Let's do this. Let's see if we can run it natively. No, we have to do /encrypt because it's a script. It's executable. And you do the same thing for whatever flavor you're running on. And when it starts up, you're going to see this help and instructions. The first time will pop up, and then you'll get the main menu here. If at any time you type H, it'll display the help instructions again. So the first thing we want to do is generate a key, because we don't have any keys. So you just type 1 and it generates a key, and it by default it'll use today's date, key.today's date. So in our case it's key.202305-018. Alright, now if we want to cache that key, this is a new feature in version 2 where you can cache the key, meaning if you want the key to be available continuously, because you want to do multiple operations of encrypting and or decrypting. So let's type K as the option, and the key is right in our path, right where we are. So it's key.2023-05-18, and now you see cache key is yes. That means the key is cached, and it'll remind you when you do any operation. Okay, so let's encrypt the file. And it says I will encrypt using cached key, so that's good. Now let's encrypt the key file, which is key.2023-05-18. Okay, and because we had print output to screen turned on, it's gonna not only export the file, it's gonna create a file here. It says file key.2023-05-18 successfully encrypted as, and it renamed it here, key.2023-05-18.encrypted. And we can take a look at that later. And because we had print output to screen is on, you just press P to toggle that. It's going to show us what the encrypted file looks like. This is the encrypted file, and let's look at the key file itself. The original key file looks like this. It is, I believe it's like I'm not sure how many, 30 digits, 30 digit key. So you can see this is the original, this is the encrypted file. Okay? Now it's non-destructive in that we have a key file, we have an encrypted file, and now if we want to decrypt this encrypted file, what we can do is, number 3, since we have the same key, it will decrypt using the cached key. The name of the file that we want to decrypt is called key.2023-05-18.encrypted. And here is, okay, so now it's going to tell us what it did. It created a new file called encrypted.clear, which is right here, which is we got our key back. Okay, so that just shows you a very simple process of creating a key, encrypting a file, and decrypting a file. Now, what we recommend is, obviously, this is a symmetrical encryption program, and you're gonna, if you're gonna just use it yourself, obviously you could store the keys on a thumb drive or some safe location. You could even write the key down in a notepad if you wanted to. However, we recommend at this point that you share the key. You might want to zip it up or potentially encrypt it again. Share the key using a secure channel. I mean, Signal, Telegram are probably the more secure channels. You obviously do not want to email the key to anybody in the clear, because that would be defeating the whole purpose. Okay, but once somebody has the key, the first key, you would be able to communicate back and forth, either reusing that key or, as is recommended, every day or every hour or even every message, you create a new key. Back up the key so that you have it somewhere. And you can, you could rotate the keys in advance. You can generate keys in advance just as you create them, rename them, and then, that may be something that you do, is generate keys in advance, share them securely on a thumb drive in person, and you have some kind of a system. Maybe it's the keys are used based upon the date, or maybe they're good. Each key is used on one day. It's up to you how you deal with your security procedures, but this program will definitely allow you to encrypt files, whether to be stored locally or to be shared by email. So, because once you have that encrypted file, put that in your email as an attachment. Even though the email is going to be in the clear, that file is encrypted and will remain encrypted in transit. So it's encrypted at rest, and it's also encrypted in transit or in motion. So this has been Joe from N90X. I hope you like this program. If you want to support us, please check out our books. We have 2 books right now, N90X.info. They're available on Amazon and Apple Books and on eBay. The first is Understanding the NetScaler SDX. The subtitle is How I Created My SDX Clone and You Can Too. The second book is NetScaler Hacks. 10, or actually more than 10 hacks for the legacy NetScaler hardware. And I think that's going to be very important, as Citrix has end-of-life almost all of their hardware devices, basically wanting you to use the VPX, the virtual appliance, only. So I think that book is going to be very helpful for those people who get Citrix NetScaler hardware, for instance, used off of eBay. It's generally a lot cheaper than other servers and fairly powerful for a lot of use cases that are described in the book. All right, until next time, this has been Joe from N90X. Take care, and bye-bye.